Okay, we're going to solve a quadratic equation using the quadratic formula. I'm doing this because there's some steps in simplifying what we get that I'd like to go through. Very first thing we have to do is get one side to 0. So subtract 8x from both sides, subtract 1 from both sides. Here we are. Now we can use the x equals the opposite of b plus or minus square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a, which I really hope you have memorized. Alright, so the opposite of b is going to be an 8 plus or minus square root b squared. That'll give us a positive 64 minus 4. A is 5, c is negative 1, so multiply ac, we'll get a negative 5. And that is all over 2a, so 2 times 5, which is 10. Okay, so let's see if we can do this and simplify it as far as we can. So 64 plus 20 gives us the square root of 84 all over 10. Now sometimes people like to take this 8 and the 10 and say, oh, they both have a 2 in them, and cancel them to be a 4 and a 5. Okay, don't do that. That's why I'm doing this example, so you don't. The distributive property, this is really like a 1/10 out here with parentheses, and that would say that the 1/10 is going to multiply by the 8 and by this square root. So we can't just do it to the 8. What I want to do before I simplify is to see if the square root of 84 has any perfect squares in it. So maybe let's just go off to the side, and I'm going to guess there's a 4 in there because 8 and 4. So this is going to be like the square root of 4 times 21. 21 does not have any perfect squares in it. Well, one of the properties of square roots is we can split it up over multiplication, and the square root of 4 is 2. So we'll take this back down to here. We have 8 plus or minus 2 times the square root of 21 all over 10. Okay, so now when we notice there's a common factor, we have 2 goes into 2, 8, and 10. It's the greatest common divisor if you want a name for it. So this will actually simplify to 4 plus or minus square root of 21 all over 5.